he's asked me a few interesting questions during the day that I thought I'd share with you guys and give some thoughts. You're absolutely right that there are a lot of other games to talk about. I thought those were the 3 most entertaining games. Then, of course, I'll touch a little bit on the Packers game before we call it a night. Would you rather throw a pick or never get the ball at the end of the game? They're talking about. Like, on the one hand, at least the pick, like, you had a chance to win. On the other hand, it's like, well, your guys aren't deflated with, throwing a pick at the end of the game, that's such a huge letdown. No matter, honestly, even if you're playing for the other team, it's still like, oh my God, you hate to have it go out like that. But at least you had a chance. I think I'll take the pick. Thoughts on the Packers through 3 weeks? Man, it's so hard to tell within 3 weeks, but I'll stand on it. The defense looks like it's playing well. If Tom Brady is the GOAT, then holding him to 12 points is something, no matter how old he is. And how depleted the Buccaneers were. They absolutely were. There's no question about that. They were depleted. But it's not like the Packers didn't suffer some injuries themselves. We don't know really where Watkins is going to slot. It's very possible that, I think it was Watson, that rookie. Dobbs did play, if I'm not mistaken. Hang on. Okay, a little bit of movie magic there. I did just double check to make sure. Dobbs did play. So without Watkins or Watson, it's like everybody's missing. Everybody gets injured. So it's fucking. I know it's going to happen. Somebody's going to be like, oh, well, Tom Brady didn't have his best fucking... Okay, the same thing happened last year for Aaron Rodgers, except for they were on the fucking road, and they beat a 7-0 team. So what the fuck? Explain it to me. How the fuck did they only get 12 points? If the Packers defense is so god-awful ass, and I don't really think that it's that great. I really don't. So, but what the fuck, like... Okay, so what are we fucking talking about then? Did they win or did they fucking lose? There's going to be somebody out there. It's either going to be Skip Bayless or fucking Colin Cowherd that's going to be like, yeah, but they beat a fucking depleted team. And it's going to be like, what do you fucking expect them to do? Just, we'll drop it just cause. We don't want to beat a team because they're fucking injured all over the goddamn place. Packers suffered some injuries too. Dude, I'm fucking yelling. I shouldn't be. I'm sorry. It's so fucking stupid. I already know what's going to happen. Kind of tying into that, the bye week is late for Green Bay. Do you prefer it early or late? I prefer late. But, it might be nice to roll until like a week 6 one. I don't know what Jair Alexander's injury is going to be. Obviously, nobody really knows anything. It's just a groin, and he didn't really look all that. If he looked gimpy, I would be like, ugh. I'm kind of concerned, but he was walking pretty, he looked like he was relatively fine. That isn't to say anything. He might have a pretty substantial pull or maybe even a minor tear or something like that. That doesn't necessarily mean that, like, oh, you can't fucking stand just because you hurt your groin. Bakhtiari came back. Nijman's kind of having some problems. Josh Nijman, was having some problems. Yeah, I really like Josh Nijman. He's really stepped into every fucking position, except for, I think, left tackle or something, maybe right tackle. Aaron Rodgers said it, like, in a presser. He's one of those guys that, like, I think that Josh is, like, on his best day a B+, on his worst day a flat B. He's okay. He's going to get beat sometimes, But having Bakhtiari back, at first I was like, no, he might be rushing it. Like, why the fuck? They waited for 2 goddamn years. Why the fuck bring him back now? And you know what? No, he played pretty fucking well, for the most part. As soon as Bakhtiari was on the field, we're actually getting some ground yards, and, I'm glad that he's back. So, but if it's one of those things where, like, hey, for the next 3-4 games, we're going to play it safe. We're going to go, drive with them, like they did. It started off, they were doing, like, Nijman, then Bakhtiari, then Nijman, but we'll see. Allen looked human, and Mahomes came down to earth. How do you feel about the juggernauts? Well, I think that it's just one of those things where, you're talking about, that they're just, it's one game, and so I don't want to overreact. But yes, when the Chiefs play that poorly, when the Bills have that much, and they were both on the road. So, again, I don't think it's entirely fair to just be like, holy shit, like, the Bills played a divisional game. Those tend to be tough, but it's kind of inexplicable. The Colts seem to have the Chiefs number. Well, I think they're like maybe they're like, I every time that I tune in, the Chiefs lose to the Colts. But I don't know.